Hi, this is Tara. Today let's study the third sutra. What does the third sutra say? Tadā draṣṭuḥ svarūpe vasthānam. One of the most beautiful sutras, one of my personal favorites. And then the seer is established in his true essential nature. Maharishi Ved Vyasa explains that the purpose of this sutra is threefold. It is to understand the motive for yoga, is to complete the definition of yoga as begun by the first and the second sutra, and to reveal the unchanging nature of spirit. It basically answers the question that when the mind attains yoga, attains the communion as described in the previous two sutras, at that time what is the state of the spirit? And the answer arises, it is in the state of cognition as witness. So, when the mind functions are active, the unchanging sentient being never swerves from its essential nature, and it continues as the same in all the states. Essentially what he's saying is that which was unconscious, which was buried, which was not revealed, even when it becomes revealed, in all your states of being, it stays unchanging and allows you to function in the world. Swami Satyananda explains the meanings of each of the four words. Tadā, then, draṣṭuḥ, seer, svarūpe, one's essential nature, vasthānam, to be established. When the chitta vritti sees, when the mind is unaffected by the three gunas, moods, emotions, volatilities, there is no longer identification with the objective world. And with our limited understanding, we're not able to grasp this sort of higher states of consciousness and self-realization. Without purity of the mind, sense control, desirelessness, the goal of yoga, kaivalya, is very hard to reach. The word avasthanam, to be established, indicates a sort of restoration to a pre-existing state. So it is more a revealing who we were, not so much as going to somebody who we are not. Swami Vivekananda simply explains it as when the waves of the mind have stopped, the bottom of the lake is clear. And thus with the quieting of the mind, we are able to see our undifferentiated nature. BKS Iyengar says, when the waves of consciousness are still, they don't distort the true expression of the soul. The seer is then able to rest in his own true revealed nature. He is established. And then volition, according to BKS Iyengar, the will, the exertion of the will is what allows that undifferentiated nature to function in the world at various levels. When this chitta ceases, a reflective state arises in which knowledge dawns clearly, and the seer witnesses that it is glorious. So it is more an awakened functioning, it is an aware functioning, it is a gloriously revealed functioning, it is no longer an ignorant functioning. Osho says when you are able to look without being identified with the mind, without evaluation, without condemnation, without judgment, without rejection, it's as though you're watching a river flow. And if you keep watching this river flow, a time will come when the river will stop flowing of its own accord. The mind will stop becoming this river of thought and chatter. And that's when you become a seer, a draṣṭuḥ. Okay? And you are no longer a thinker or a doer. You are a being established in pure self. Barbara Stoller Miller translates it a little differently. She says, when thought ceases, the spirit stands in its true identity as observer to the world. So the observer, Purusha, in its conscious aspect, is the subject who watches the visible phenomenal experience but who does not participate in it. So as long as Purusha was intermingled with Prakriti, there was a participation. Now that you have been re-established as Purusha, there is observation. Everything becomes extrinsic to itself, including thought and memory. And so this is witnessed. The whole world, the whole functioning of the self is witnessed rather than experienced. This was a brief one but a beautiful one. Thank you for listening. Come back for Sutra